Today, I want to share to you on how to use PowerPoint presentation effectively, using technology to enhance classroom learning. Is anyone not familiar with PowerPoint? We can take a little time and learn and play with PowerPoint. Here are the tips and techniques for using PowerPoint technology to enhance learning in the classroom. What is PowerPoint presentation? It is a presentation software program that is part of the Microsoft Office package. It uses a graphical approach to presentation in the form of slideshows. The purpose of PowerPoint is to give power to a particular point. In making PowerPoint slides, avoid pitfalls of bad slides. Tips to be covered: outlines, slide structures, fonts, color, background, graphs, spelling and grammar, sounds and animation, transition, conclusion, questions. In your outline, make your first and second slide an outline of your presentation. Example is the previous slide. Follow the order of your outline for the rest of the presentation. Only place main points on the outline slide. Example, use the titles of each slide as main point. Slide structure is good. Use 1 to 2 slides per minute of your presentation. Write in point form, not complete sentences. Include 4 to 5 points per slides. And avoid wordiness. Use keywords and phrases only. Structures of bad slide. Here is an example of a structure of bad slides. A slide structure is good when it shows one point at a time. It will help audience concentrate on what you are saying. It will prevent audience from reading ahead. And it will help you keep your presentation focused. The structure of your slide is bad. To avoid this, do not use distracting animation. Do not go overboard with animation and be consistent with the animation that you are using. Fonts is good when it's used at least 18-point font. Use different size fonts for main points and secondary points. Example, this font is 24 point. The main point font is 28 point. And the title font is 36 point. Use a standard font like Times New Roman and or Arial. Your font will become bad when if you use a small font. Your audience won't be able to read what you have written. Avoid capitalized letters. Capitalize only when necessary. It is difficult to read. Don't use a complicated font. The color is good if you use a color of font that contrasts sharply with the background. Example, white font and on blue background like this presentation. Use color to reinforce the logic of your structure. Example, light blue title and dark blue text. Use color to emphasize a point, but only use this occasionally. Color is bad when using a font color that does not contrast with the background color is really hard to read. Using color for decoration is distracting and annoying. Using a different color for each point is unnecessary. Using a different color for secondary points is also unnecessary. Trying to be creative can also be bad. Background is good when you use backgrounds such as this, one that are attractive but simple. Use backgrounds which are light. Use the same background consistently throughout your presentation. Here is an example of a bad background. Avoid backgrounds that are distracting or difficult to read from. And always be consistent with your background that you use. For graphics, you have to use graphs rather than just charts and words. Data in graphs is easier to comprehend and retain than in a raw data. Trends are easier to visualize in graph form. Always title your graphs. This is an example of a bad graph. And this one is an example of a good graphs. Bad. What makes it bad? Because of the grid lines. Your graphs will become bad because of the minor guidelines which are not unnecessary. Font is too small. Colors are illogical. Title is missing. These are the things that we can say that the graphs is bad. And shading is distracting. Spelling and grammar. Proof your slides for spelling mistakes. The use of repeated words. Grammatical errors you might have made. If English is not your first language, please have someone else check your presentation. Conclusion. Use an effective and strong closing. Your audience is likely to remember your last words. Use a conclusion slide to summarize the main points of your presentation. Suggest future avenues of research. Questions? End your presentation with a simple question slide 2 to invite your audience to ask questions. Provide a visual aid during question period and avoid ending a presentation abruptly. In summary, recognize your students. Balance technology and lecture. Be active in teaching. Use PowerPoint effectively. Engage students in different learning experiences. And always remember, it is not about technology. It is about interactivity. Thank you for your time. God bless.